Hello and welcome to episode 271 of the Veeam Community Recap. We skipped a week, double vacation situation, but Maddie and I both are back in normal circumstances today, and we got a surprise up our sleeve. We're breaking the rule, I'll just say it, because you skip a week, that's what we do. Good day, Maddie. How are you?
Hello, Rick, and hello, community. We were both on vacation, and we just realized there was no post, no video last week, no one to take care of it. But the community definitely took care of creating content because, there is so much v13.1. I think while we were on vacation, all that was announced. So that's fantastic. And we have a lot to talk about today. And yes, we are breaking the rule.
Indeed. All right, so let's just jump into it. So first up, we have Luis Eduardo Serrano, aka Rockin' and Rollin', with 13.1 perspective for HPE solutions. He worked at HPE, one of our vanguards. I had to double check. He's one of our vanguards, and he has a great perspective. Oh, my ride's here. No, I'm joking. He's got a great perspective on some of the 13.1 new capabilities. Anything caught your eye on this one, Maddie?
Yeah, I think that's great that working for HPE, he decided to write about Veeam backup and replication v13.1 and all the good things that are coming with for the HPE environment. So I think for anyone that is using an HPE environment, this is a great piece of content. You're gonna want to read it. It's really comprehensive in here. Also, I can see a bunch of links that are sending you to the user guide and the good information. So basically what he's doing in here, he's bringing together all the HPE specific enhancements with the Veeam 13.1 from Morpheus VM Essentials and store ones to Cloud Bank, Recovery Orchestrator, Veeam One, custom for Kubernetes, all good stuff. And rather than simply, just listing the new features, Luis actually shows us how all these capabilities are fitting together, to just create a more coherent and more connected HPE ecosystem. And this way, it's going to make it easier for the administrator to protect workloads, to monitor the infrastructure. And we are also talking about the recovery orchestration in here. So how Luis presents this, and honestly, I think he has a great point. He says, this actual release focuses on improving the overall operational experience rather than, just introduce a single headline feature, So, as I said, native support for HPE, Morpheus, VM, Essentials. And this is going to make the adoption, migration much easier. The store ones, it's going to bring some practical usability improvements, as well as immutable configuration backups. And then when we talk about recovery orchestrator, this adds the clean room recovery with a read-only repository access. So I think that's pretty cool. And this is very important for cyber resilience, obviously. And then talking about Kasten, it's kind of bringing it into the same protection strategy. And this kind of helps bring together, the traditional as well as the cloud native workload. So I think this is pretty cool. So I think the conclusion of all these, if we think about, I don't know if you agree with that, Rick, but I think Luis mentions that as well, as I kind of agree with this idea, is like none of these really new features are revolutionary on their own capability, but together, I think it's kind of going to make HPE environment much easier to manage and to recover and of course, more resilient. So I think overall, it's a fantastic article in here.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job here because HPE is, one of our biggest partners, as many know. And hard to pick a favorite, but I'm going to go with the HPE VME Morpheus Essentials hypervisor. This has been really a priority for some of the market conditions in the hypervisor space. And it's not just more complete backup, but you'll also see down in the Veeam 1 section, it also includes monitoring and reporting for Morpheus. So that's just a couple of my personal favorites. And then, the store once for Kubernetes, that's a great opportunity as well. So, and some of this applies to everything, but HPE, with servers, with storage, now with a hypervisor platform, they've got a lot involved in the data center technology stack as well. So thank you, Luis. Very thorough, very good post. Sticking on the 13.1 theme, Ken, one of the rising stars, he was playing with the beta, but it's now GA. That's okay. That rhymes. We do that on recaps. But basically, a security features deep dive, which is part of our Why Now community challenge. And what caught your eye on this one, Matt?
Yeah, as you said, I think Ken in this one he focuses on the security capabilities, and yeah, even though it was a beta, I think there's not much that changed since he did this testing. So I think we are on a good side to mention it and to talk about. And yeah, he has a very interesting hands-on approach, which I really like it. He's kind of testing the new security features in the lab environment with intentionally infected workloads. So I think that was the interesting part in here. And from zero trust, inline entropy analysis to threat hunter, IOC detection, post-quantum cryptography, basically Ken shows how these capabilities work together throughout the backup and recovery lifecycle. So I think, he's kind of showing us through a real example. It basically he's kind of validating the technology. And just seeing features like inline entropy analysis, flag suspicious encryptions during a backup job, or using the threat hunter and IOC detection to just identify the last known good restore point, that makes the value much more kind of tangible than just someone bringing a list of features, because obviously the features you kind of you can find it everywhere on all the documentations by at this point. Also, he's also kind of trying to reinforce something that we heard from customers for a while now, I would say. Backups alone aren't enough anymore. And I think everyone in this domain agrees with that. Basically, organizations just want confidence. They can recover clean data after an attack. And that's something we keep on hearing. And I think this is what basically Veeam Data Platform 13.1, it takes it to a different level. So that's really great. And yeah, overall, I think he has a lot of also print screens, and he shows how he goes through each step, and gives us, valuable practical information in here. So I think overall, great job, Ken. Thank you for that. And yeah, looking forward to the next one, because I think there is so much to write and talk about v13.1. It has so many good things.
Indeed. And one thing that's kind of a consistent theme here, you'll see with what Ken has, is so much of this is actually in the web user interface. So this is delivering on some of our other information that as we go, we're going to have more capabilities in the web user interface. So good stuff. Check it out. Thank you, Ken. I love this. And yeah, especially the entry analysis on some of the new workloads. This is great. All right, next up, we have Esteban, one of the legends, talking about one of the new choices in virtualization spaces using Kubernetes and the new 13.1 KubeVirt proxy. This is a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I totally agree, Rick. Esteban always brings some really great content and always around Kubernetes, Kasten, KubeVirt, OpenShift, stuff like that, all the good stuff, deep technology in there. But this time he explains what KubeVirt, what is KubeVirt. He starts with the definition, which I think is really cool, and why so many organizations are now running virtual machines on Kubernetes, how the new KubeVirt proxy in Veeam 13.1 actually fits in all these pieces. And he's not necessarily making here like a super technical article and implementation, but he rather tries to explain what all this means and brings for the backup administrators and why this matters for backup administrators and for the people that are working around these technologies as virtualization strategies are kind of evolving. So basically I think a lot of organizations nowadays, enterprises, are evaluating alternatives to traditional hypervisors. Many are looking at platforms built on KubeVirt. So the new KubeVirt proxy shows that Veeam isn't just adding support for another platform, it's kind of building a new integration layer that can scale with an evolving virtualization landscape. So basically, for anyone that is looking on using KubeVirt, they want to use it. Oh wow, interesting! Two votes, cool. You wanted to see who voted in
Yeah,
there.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
that's what you wanted to see. I see that. But yeah, anyway, this is a great article, and I think anyone that is interested in this topic, in Kubernetes in general, Kasten, OpenShift, I think Esteban has some fantastic articles at the Community Hub on his own blog. So definitely go and check it out. Thank you, Esteban.
Yeah, indeed. This is great in the sense that I can confirm every customer and partner conversation, new hypervisor platform comes up, and Kubernetes and virtual machines on other platforms, or even just running Kubernetes more, is an absolute possibility. And just this week, Jada and I set up a Red Hat OpenShift cluster for virtualization and containers. So very well timed, Esteban. Thank you. All right, our rule breaker goes to a rising star, Fabian, who's sharing a script for removing backup proxies, including supporting for 13.1. I love a good script that makes a lot of work easy. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was like, why not mention a script today? Put it in the breaking the rule, since anyway, it seems very useful. And also, I'm happy to see, our rising star contributing to the Community Hub. So Fabian basically shares a very simple PowerShell script that automates the process of removing a backup proxy from multiple backup jobs. A task that everyone knows. It's really time consuming if you have a larger Veeam environment. And he says this is designed for the Windows-based Veeam version 12 and 13, but he's looking to Linux appliance as well version, and that's going to come in the future from what I see in there. He said it's on my roadmap, so stay tuned. So pretty cool stuff. I know you shared as well his GitHub in there and the script itself. Good stuff. Keep on doing awesome, fantastic work, Fabian.
It is on my roadmap. Personal roadmaps. Love it. Thank you, Fabian. Good to give you a shout out here on the recap. And you can probably go ahead and watch for other cool projects coming in his GitHub. By the way, I love that title, GitHub Git push community. That's an inside joke. Love it. All right, next up, Vanguard Blog Spotlight, Marco Sorrentino. And he's talking about using the Veeam Intelligence MCP server. Okay, you get like Cool Points Award here, Marco. This is a great one.
He gets 1 point for me for the title of his blog website, actually, The Art of Data Protection. That's a cool one. I really like that one. But yeah, I think this is actually the first time, Marco used to be a legend, and then I think last year he became a Vanguard. So he used to be pretty active on the community hub. So we call his name quite a few times, but I don't think we ever call him as a in the
first
section.
time with the spotlight for me.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, welcome to the VBS side of things. We don't have cookies though. They have sugar. So yeah, pretty cool article as well, as you said. I think that's why this is June. We are in July, but I thought it was a pretty cool topic. So I was like, yeah, we have to have it. He's talking about the model context protocol in here. And he explains how the new Veeam MCP server lets AI clients securely access real-time information from Veeam backup and replication, from Veeam One, from the Veeam service provider console, and even he takes us through the setup in a lab using GitHub Copilot. So I think that was pretty cool in there. So this basically introduces a completely new way of interacting with your backup environment. We all kind of spent years managing infrastructure through consoles, dashboards, APIs, scripts, and so on and so forth. But MCP adds the natural language to that toolbox. So yeah, today, that might actually mean asking questions about backup health or malware events, but who knows what we can do with it tomorrow. So, we could maybe the AI can become part of the operational workflow, automatically open incidents, even coordinating the recovery tasks across different types of systems. So that's very interesting. But I do want to ask maybe it's a bit unpopular question. Will AI replace administrators or just changing how they interact with their infrastructure? And I really want to hear your answers in the comments. I don't know what you think about that, Rick.
Well, my take is I don't think AI is going to take someone's job necessarily,
Okay.
but I do think somebody who uses AI better may.
Okay.
So that's my take. So I think we all need to get into it in the right levels. And here's an angle that isn't just to say, hey, I'm using AI for AI's sake, but I'm also using it to keep things more resilient. So there's direct reliance to business benefits. So good stuff. Yes, thank you, Marco Sorrentino. Fantastic stuff on the Vanguard Blog Spotlight. And speaking of blogs, we're going to do Blog of the Month on the Community Hub, and we have a winner, and it's Falco.
Yeah, congratulations, Falco. A fantastic V13, of course, article in here with 21 votes. It seems to have been the favorite of the community. Community has voted and he got a badge.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. But yeah, thank you everyone that participate. I think it's always, fun to keep track of that and, to have visibility and who's writing, what's writing, and see what community appreciates, right? Because you can tell by that vote. What type of content the community likes. So
yeah,
really,
and this is
really
the post. And what I want to highlight is like these improvements internally when we were sharing these, they were crazy different, and so crazy improved. And so Falco's really gone very thorough here and shown us, kind of how to put this into perspective. Like these are some incredible differences here. So definitely give this a read. It's a long read, very German, but I think this is probably the biggest unsung hero of 13.1.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, sticking on the theme. If you did not know, first time on the show, again, I don't know why I'm rhyming so much. We have this product update section here. And Kirsten, KMS1, as I like to say, has a post on 13.1 for backup and replication, 13.1 for Veeam 1, and completing the trifecta, 13.1 for Veeam Recovery Orchestrator. It's kind of an illustrated version of the what's new. These are a great read, Maddie.
I agree. That's fantastic. Thank you, Kirsten, for putting all this together, and putting all the resources together. It's easy for the community, they just go there and they have release notes, what's new, Veeam blog, also an overview of it. And as I said, there's so much happening with 13.1. It's really worth going and, just read it all. It might take you some weeks. It might.
Yeah, indeed. This is a .1 release, and here for Veeam 1, for example, some of the new stuff. It's crazy the amount of technology. In fact, I'm still upgrading my environments because I'm then going to go in and update the upgrade center, which we'll talk about probably next week, and I'll share that out with just some points, but Orchestrator as well. And, friends, there's just a lot of technology in here. And Kirsten, thank you so much for really covering all three parts of Veeam Data Platform here in quick order. Oof. So much. Yeah, give those each a read. And then if you're thinking about upgrading, you definitely want to upgrade Veeam 1 first, then Enterprise Manager, then Veeam Backup and Replication. And then if you're using the Orchestrator, you want to check specifically, maybe reach out to your account team on which sequence you should do there.
And definitely share your thoughts with us, just put it in an article, put it in a discussion board, wherever you want, just share it with us at the Community Hub.
All right. Now, from the desk of Sophia, we have the Who's New. And this one, Maddie, I don't know if I've ever seen such a cool Alfred's Pick name. No backup, no mercy. I love that. I cannot get my eyes off of that. But Sticks 92, Dove Creek, Mad Hat, and Metric Pizza. That sounds good because I forgot.
Yeah.
You all get coolest username shout outs, and Alfred's Pick is no backup, no mercy. I don't even know how cool that is. I cannot put that in words. That's it. So we are rocking, and next week I will be back in normal circumstances, and we'll have a little surprise I'll have the upgrade center updated at that time, but
yeah, and we'll come with more great content because the community is super active. I'm sure there's more coming. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, community.
Awesome. All right, everyone, we will see you next week on 272.